Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Casadorperfect, or you can call me Chris, and welcome back to another one of my YouTube videos where I demonstrate how to take down the newly released 7-star raid 10 boss within Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. And today, as of July 11th, we have a brand new 7-star raid boss coming to Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and it's none other than the pseudo-legendary of Generation 9, Kommo-o. This Pokemon is a monster, first and foremost. It has great typing in my personal opinion, identical to the typing that Koraidon has, which is Dragon and Fighting. Makes this Pokemon quite a very fearsome Pokemon to face against. Now, this event will run from July 11th, which is today, until July 13th, and then comes back a week later, just like almost all the other 7-star raid bosses. Comes back next week on July 18th, and then leaves permanently on July 20th this year. So, what are we facing in this particular raid? Well, we are facing a Kommo-o at level 100 with its ability Soundproof, and the ability Soundproof basically makes him immune to sound-based attacks, which he has 2 of, but we're going to cover that right now. So the moves that this Pokemon comes with are Close Combat, which is a stab move, very powerful. Dragon Claw, again, stab move, very powerful. Iron Head, Boom Burst, which is a sound-based attack, you need to keep that in mind. And it has 2 additional moves, which are Clangorous Soul and Clanging Scale. And Clanging Scale, in conjunction with Bone Burst, are 2 moves that he uses, or it, and they are both sound-based attacks, and we need to strategize around that. And I'm going to go over the build that you can utilize in order to maximize and basically abuse his own ability against it. So, its Tera Type is going to be Fighting. It can never be caught as a shiny Pokemon, unfortunately. Its nature is going to be Naughty. No held item, can only be catched once per save file, and we should definitely be good with the build that we're going to be covering today. Now, the build that I'm talking about is none other than Slowbro at level, of course, 100, and its Tera Type should be Psychic, holding the Shell Bell item. Now, a Slowbro, this particular build is basically almost identical to the builds we have used in the past. Slowbro builds that I've advertised on my YouTube channel. It's basically the exact same Pokemon, just with very small tweaks, okay? So the moves it needs to have our Iron Defense, Stored Power, Skill Swap, very important, and Nasty Plot. Now, this particular build has 252 EVs invested in defense and HP, and it has the ability Regenerator. And the reason being is because we're going to be using Skill Swap in order to gain the Soundproof ability, and we're going to return our ability Regenerator to Kommo-o, which is going to render it completely useless, as this ability is only usable when you swap out the Pokemon. And as we know, Kommo-o is just standing there fighting us until the very bitter end. So the nature that I would advise in this situation would be a special attack, boosting nature. And in this case, I have modest nature. So you can clearly see there is an arrow upwards on my special attack stat, and there is an arrow downwards on my attack stat, indicating that this is a modest nature. Now let's go ahead and jump right into the battle to demonstrate exactly how this goes, in practicality. Now, one of the things that I would like to point out as well is you're going to have a much better time if the NPCs that you're playing with do have Intimidate. Now, this can also be done with NPCs that don't have Intimidators on them. But I'm just saying, look at this. This is the perfect example, and I'm, as I'm recording this live right here with my voice as I'm doing this, this is the perfect, situation where I don't have an Intimidator. I'm going to show to you that it is very possible to actually pull this through. I was going to start off by getting an Omni buff, +1 on every single stats, which makes him very powerful right off the bat. But we definitely want to start off by basically skill swapping our ability with his ability, and that pretty much negates 2 out of the 7 moves that he has. And that puts us in a very good situation. Now, what you want to do right off after you gain his ability, and he's going to put up the shield, which really doesn't matter that much, you want to go ahead and Iron Defense, because you need a little bit more bulk in order to sustain through all the damage that is going to be coming your way as we are trying to set this up right now. So keep in mind that Pokemon is currently at +2. He's very powerful. So we need to do this ASAP, otherwise we are in big trouble if we start setting up with a move that doesn't give us any defensive stats. I'm gonna go for the nasty block here on the third turn as he goes gonna go for the close combat. Now the great thing about close combat is that it drops its defense and special defense at the same time. It is very powerful, but at the same time he is making himself weaker in the process, which is amazing. Now we have 130 HP left. We're gonna regain a little bit of our missing HP to 154 because of the grassy terrain, and now we do want to proceed to go for the stored power because, as a matter of fact, we would like to terrestrialize sometime soon. And without terrestrialization, there is no way we are gonna be victorious in this battle. So 182 HP remaining. It's looking pretty good. Actually, as a matter of fact, 206. It's even better. Now, again, we are just going to try and chase the terrestrialization here. And I just want to be very blunt here, guys, as well. Is if you get critted, you may very well start over because you will need the time. That's the thing. All right. So, but that's RNG. That there is nothing you can do about that if that ever happens to you. So it's going to remove its stats from itself. And we're going to go again with store power. So it's basically back to neutral. That's what I'm trying to say there. So the -2 defense, special defense it had before are gone. So store power again, back to 177. I think we're gonna get the Sea Sour. Exactly, that's good. A little bit of extra recovery from our NPC players. Now this is where things get a little bit interesting. Now I want to terrestrialize here, as a matter of fact, and go for a nasty plot, right? I want to go for the nasty blood, and the reason why I want to go for a nasty blood here is because, one, I want to regain as much HP back as I can when I attack, and I need to bring him down to around 60% of his health, because at that point he is going to, reset my stats, and that's where the battle actually begins. Or, and this is what I'm trying to do here, or I just bring him down a little bit before that ever happens, right? So we're going to go for the stored power here. I'm going to showcase exactly what I mean. So instead of bringing him down to 60%, we want to prepare our slow bro to the point where it can effectively take it down from this range. All right. So as you know, we're currently almost near the 60% mark. It is about to do some, automated pre-programmed actions, which is fine. It's going to hit everyone else except us. Oh, it's going to nullify our stat change. Well, actually did a little bit more damage than I would like, which is, it's fine. We want to set up that iron defense once more, ladies and gents, and definitely get your defense buff because we need that. We need more bulk in order to survive the onslaught that is going to be coming from that Pokemon. Now, this is the moment where I would say just set up 3 times with iron defense. That's what I would do, because it allows me to build up enough momentum to the point where after I, set up with 3 more nasty plus, basically putting me at a +6 defense and +6 special attack, it is basically going to make me omnipotent and very powerful, and I'm going to be able to take him down with another stored power, which is going to be fantastic. Now, in the meantime, he's going to be going for close combat, which is the beauty about this strategy. He's going to be making himself weaker as I am making myself stronger, and over time I will become so powerful that there is nothing on this planet that will survive my stored power after this, and he's going to go down. So at this point it's just a little bit of a time-consuming setup process, but again, like I said, with this build, it's basically guaranteed that you're going to be taking down Kommo-o, the Unrivaled, each and every time that you face it, unless, as I mentioned before, you start getting critted and stuff like that, which is completely out of your control. Those are RNGs, random number generators. There is no predicting that, so there is nothing that you can do in order to prepare against a situation like that. So all you can do, as a matter of fact, is follow this little protocol here that we have in place. One more nasty plus, one more nasty plot for that +6 attack or special attack, I would say. And I could do one thing, and that one thing is actually attacking, or I could go for a cheer up, go all out on the next turn, which I am going to do right here, right now. And after that, I am 100% sure that my damage output right after this is going to be sufficient to take down Kommo-o from the range that it is at. Well, at least that's what I have been doing while trying this build, and it has worked each and every time. So close combat is going to hit me one more time. It crits me. Oh my god, it crits me at the very last moment, But this is when I decided to go on the offensive here and store power that thing absolutely away. And that's, ladies and gentlemen, almost a one-hit KO after terrestrialization and some setup. We go back to full HP, and this is how to take down Kommo-o with Slow Bro in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Now, before we go, of course, I am very, very eager to understand and know from you guys. I'd like to hear from you guys what kind of Pokeball you used to capture this Pokemon in. I personally chose the Luxurious Ball because something along this about this ball kind of, kind of calls out to me to capture this Pokemon in. It's a luxurious Pokemon, and yeah, that's what I did. So again, guys, thank you so much for watching. Remember to drop a like before you go out and try out this build. It's been a fantastic build to take this Pokemon effectively each and every time. And as you can clearly see, you can get some Salty Herba Mystica. I was lucky enough to get 2 and 1 Spicy. This Pokemon drops protein, which is great to farm, and the same goes for the Herba Mystica. All right, guys, that's me, Casadorperfect. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in tonight's live stream. If I see you there tonight, let's have some fun and let's take down this Pokemon quite a couple of times, farm the protein and the Herba Mystica together. And that's it from my side, guys. Have a good day and take care of yourself.